Hello, my friends. Mr. Sandra here. Today we're going to be reading another book. This book is also a narrative nonfiction book, just like the one we read the other day. Okay, and so it's going to give us facts about an emperor penguin's life cycle. And though the facts in this text are presented as a story, that's why it's also a narrative. Okay, so pay attention to very close information about the penguin's journey in this book. A Mother's Journey by Sandra Markle, illustrated by Alan Marks. A Mother's Journey. In the rosy glow of the setting sun, in mid-May, when Antarctica's winter has just begun, a young female emperor penguin pushes out her egg. It is the very first egg she has ever laid. Cream white and cone-shaped, it is softball-sized and steaming from her body's heat. Her mate waddles fast to pick it up. But bending forward, she scoops the egg onto her feet. Then she covers it with her belly flap and holds it snug in her warm, broad pouch. The male sings his song and nudges her neck until, at last, she lets the egg roll out. This time the male scoops it up, pushes it into his own broad pouch. His winter's job has now begun. During the next 2 months, a tiny chick will grow inside the egg, and all the while the male will keep it warm and safe from the fiercest winter storm that blow across the Antarctic ice. The partners sing a last duet. Then the young female joins a line of female emperors marching away from the colony. She too has a job to do. She needs to feed herself and build up strength to be a mother. Then shortly after the chick hatches, she will come back with food for her hungry baby. But the closest food is in the open sea, more than 50 miles away. Flopping on her belly, the young female scoots along, following the others over the ice-crusted snow, and the tracks they leave trail after them. But the ice they are crossing is just an ice sheet floating on the sea. So here and there, females pop in to swim across the cracks. When they come to an iceberg, gleaming and pointing, the young females and the others stand up and waddle through the maze of scattered ice boulders. On the second day, a fiery green aurora lights up the winter sky. Then the plodding line of emperors seem to dance, with round black shadow partners mimicking their step. On and on the young females travel until, on the third day, the roaring wind blows too hard to push through and swirls diamond dust snow into the stinging cloud. Then she joins the group standing close together. With feathered backs out and their heads pulled in, they huddle to wait out the storm. Day after day, 5 days in all, the young female and the other emperors plod and scoot across the sea ice. Then finally they reach the pack ice, a patchwork quilt of milk and white chunks stitched together by seams of blue-black water. It has been more than a month since her last meal, but the young female doesn't rush to jump in. There could be leopard seals lurking in the dark sea. The female emperors crowd together at the very edge of the water. Finally, those at the front dive in. The others rush in after them. Flapping her flippers, the young female flies through the water, zipping this way and that until, with swift and graceful twist, she swims into a school of shimmering silver fish and easily swallows her fill. Every day, the young female searches for food, sometimes alone, sometimes with others. She always goes hunting when the sky is brightest, even though that means hunting by moonlight. She needs to see cracks in the ice cover where she can poke her head out and take a breath before diving again. Some days the young female dines on a pink krill plucked from clusters as thick as clouds. Other days she chases fish and little squid, and darting after them she gulps down all that she can catch. When she has no luck near the surface, the young female dives deep down through the dark, ice-cold water to the bottom of the sea. There, she nearly always catches a scaly Antarctic Jonas fish, sometimes 2 or 3. One day, a big leopard seal surprises her, swimming up fast from the dark depths with its jaws wide open. The young female pumps her flippers hard and, leaping in and out of the waves, swims fast and escapes. Day after day, the young female hunts and watches out for hunters. In all, she travels more than 930 miles, but it is a zigzag course that never takes her too far from the ice edge. Then one day at the beginning of August, as the ruddy red sun peaks above the horizon, the young female leaves the sea. A feeling deep inside tells her it is time to go by. If all is well, now her egg has hatched. The young female joins the other female emperors heading back to the colony. This time, they have even farther to go. The area of ice they must cross has grown bigger during the cold, dark winter months. So scooting and walking, the little group hurries. They have a long way to travel and the clock is ticking. The newly hatched chicks need the food the females are bringing stored in their bellies, and their mates cannot wait much longer to leave for the sea to feed themselves. For 7 days, the female emperors march through long, dark nights and short, pale days through the gusting winds and blowing snow. At last, ahead, they see the huddled mass of waiting males. Waddling into this group, the young female sings and listens hard for just one singer among all of the others. Finally, she finds her mate. Standing close, the pair bow their heads and sing together. Then the male rolls back on his belly flap and shows the young female her very first chick. At the sight of its mother, the chick peeps to be fed, and when the chick is settled on her feet, she brings food up and lets it eat. With one last song, her mate heads off into the sea. It is the young female's turn to care for the little emperor. But then, that is exactly the reason the new mother has made her long journey.